Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended. And a lot of people have seemed to have forgotten about this little trick that is very useful for both PvP and PvE styles of play. And I'm going to show you basically what you can do and what you can't do in order to build a sky base inside of Ark. A completely mobile, in some cases, depending on how much weight you put on it, immobile base. Now, if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for that algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel for more awesome Ark content. So anyways, you can see that I have quite a few structures on top of a Quetzal that is in the middle of the sky. There's a few things that I'm going to fix everyone's questions real quick. Yes, a Quetzal has unlimited stamina in the sky as long as you are not standing on top of it. As soon as I am standing on top of it, the stamina will drain. However, as soon as I am off of the Quetzal, its stamina goes back to full. I'll show you right now so you can see it goes back up to full. And it can carry a ridiculous amount of weight. Just so you can see right there, there's 55 pounds. The structures themselves do not count as weight. However, the stuff inside of the structures do count as weight. So if I was to put this all inside of this Quetzal, you're going to see that that weight goes way up. However, it'll still stay flying if it is encumbered, so it just won't be able to move. So you can have a sky base anywhere you want inside of Ark. It's incredibly popular to do something in PvP like this, and basically what people will do is they will quite literally fly up to the sky barrier is what it's called. Basically, you literally run into the outside barrier of Ark. It's like the hexagonal thing. I'll show you in a second here. We must be there now, so you can see how I am up there at the sky barrier right now. Now, what happens as well, as long as I am on the sky barrier, basically, one, it makes it very difficult in order for people to actually see me. And that can be a very useful thing for PvP. And yeah, just in general, a very useful strategy. Now, there can be some negatives to it. Obviously, as you can see, I'm at the sky barrier and I am actually outside of the mesh. So that's a little bit of a problem, but it is technically a way to get outside of the mesh. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this because it's technically against Ark code. However, as long as you're technically on the mesh right where I am right now, notice how I am technically still inside of the mesh. I just happen to get off of my creature and I'm outside of the mesh. What they'll do is they'll park it up there so no one can loot their stuff. If they do blow it up, it gets stuck outside of the mesh. And in order to actually get it, you have to go outside of the mesh yourself. Not only that, but it's hard to spot. Now, the other benefits of this, right, is you can see I've got some pretty awesome stuff on this platform. I can put I can literally put just about anything in the game on this. Anything with the word industrial in front of it can't be placed on it. However, and then turrets cannot be placed on it. However, everything that you see on the structure, this is a completely functional base that will stay in the sky forever, and you will never have any problems. Now, that is very useful, obviously. You can see that anything you would need for a functional base can be placed up here, including a generator, tech trough, whatever you want to call it. You can have a chemistry bench that works. You can have, I mean, an indie cooker, but you can't have the indie forge, my bad. You can actually have a refining forge. You can have all kinds of stuff to have a completely functional base. And all of these things can carry whatever you want them to do. And basically, you can include beds on this thing. You can have a completely functional base at the top of the map, so literally nobody is going to be able to see you. Now, just so you understand, the Quetzal has a maximum structure capacity of 40 structures. So as soon as you put 40 structures down on your Quetzal, it is no longer going to be able to have things that can be placed on it. And you will run into what is called the structure limit. You can see there are too many structures on this platform. The Quetzal will basically say, no, you can't do it anymore. However, you can get more than a functional base inside of this, anything from tech to low-end stuff. Now, obviously, this is a super cheesy thing, especially for PvP, because basically what I can do is I can just have this on top of the map, and I'll show you why it's such a great thing. As soon as you start getting further down, now I have my render distance turned to max. You can see that unless I am barely beneath the clouds inside of Ark, I'm not even going to see this Quetzal. Now, you have to literally get above the clouds for it to even come into render range, and not too many people go this high up because it's very ineffective for stamina usage. So it's very uncommon for people to see something like that. Now, what people will also do in PvP is they'll park these over the ocean. So if someone does kill it and basically your Quetzal falls down, they're able to just go down to the ocean and get their stuff back, where it's just much more difficult to find them because no one really flies over the ocean for long periods of time. And in PvE, this can be super useful. If you're careful with your weight, you can actually just fly around and not ever have to worry about anything for like placing a base down. You could have a completely mobile base. You cannot have a, unfortunately, I'll go ahead and show you, a cryo fridge. It seems to be something that you can no longer place on the Quetzal platform, which is interesting. So that kind of sucks. You see it requires a placement on a floor. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe if you were to land the Quetzal, you could place it on there, but the no longer is placeable on top of one of these structures. Now, all of that being said, pretty much everything you could need would be on this. Now, what you would need to do is before you log off, just jump off this thing so you're not actually on it, because C is going to take that stamina hit as long as you are technically on it. But as long as you are off of it, it'll stay in the sky forever. Now, people will tend to park these things on the very edge of the map. So you'll see like upper left, upper right corners. You'll find, I swear, you can go to most servers and you'll see at least 1 or 2 people with a Quetzal base. And for those of you that I've just ruined this trick for you for, I am sorry about that. But I used to do this pretty often as well. Now, for PvE side of things, right, it's super fun to be able to have a mobile base like this because you can literally have a Enki and just have a Quetzal with a big platform saddle, and you can turn this into a mobile refining forge. Obviously, your Quetzal will need to have some serious points into weight, but Quetzals have one of the highest carrying weights in the game, so it's actually a doable thing where you can have some pretty good carry weight on your Quetzal. In general, it's a super fun trick that you can use, and you certainly should take advantage of it because it can be very cheeky, and you can literally only have like 6 or 7 foundation slash ceilings and have a pretty awesome base at the sky barrier. But it's also just a fun thing to do in PvE if you're looking to do something like that, just because it can be very, I mean, it's just nice to have a base up in the sky. The only thing you want to be careful of is as soon as you hop off of that, do not forget it'll regain stamina. But as long as you're staying on its back, it will continue to actually drain that stam. So don't spend too long. It doesn't drain it very quickly, just so you can see right here, right? It's a very slow drain, but it is a drain on the actual creature. So anyways, hopefully this video helps you out, and it's just a fun little tip and trick. But other than that, Teach out.